Fourth race field behind the gate, moving up. Here they come. They're all Big Better Hanover leaves, so does Oakwood Carl toward the inside. That's a Rocknroll bus with Burning Roses along the rail. They make their way in the first turn. A Rocknroll bus gets the lead. Big Better Hanover forced to drop in there. Second, finding rail. Third is Oakwood Carl. Getting away in fourth, that's Burning Roses. Behind Burning Roses, Kissin' Joe. Trailing up the backstretch are Hold My Wine and Alexis Sunshine. They make their way by the opening quarter, and a Rocknroll bus is on top of length and a half over Big Better Hanover. Oakwood Carl got to the rail third. Two in front of Burning Roses. Kissin' Joe is next. Those trailers are Hold My Wine and Alexis Sunshine. They went by the quarter in 28 and 2/5 as they head over toward the top of the stretch the first time on the way toward the half, and a Rocknroll bus with a 2-lane lead. Big Better Hanover got away second, finding the rail third. Oakwood Carl in front of Burning Roses. Coming to the outside now, that's Kissin' Joe. Wanting to follow Kissin' Joe is Hold My Wine. Alexis Sunshine also to the outside as they make their way by the half in 57 and 4/5 into that first turn once again. And a Rocknroll bus maintains the lead over Big Better Hanover. Kissin' Joe races up on the outside, followed by Hold My Wine. Oakwood Carl down inside fifth, racing in sixth. Burning Roses and Alexis Sunshine continues to trail. They're midway up the backstretch, approaching three-quarters, and a Rocknroll bus leads it by about a length. Kissin' Joe getting a bit closer, waiting inside Big Better Hanover. A second over trip for Hold My Wine in fourth. They went by three-quarters, 126 and 3/5 around the final turn, coming toward the top of the stretch, and a Rocknroll bus is still there, 3 parts of a length over Kissin' Joe. Kissin' Joe now gets closer, and they're at the top of the stretch. Turning for home, a Rocknroll bus is on top. Kissin' Joe races on the outside. Farther out, Hold My Wine. They come toward the finish. A Rocknroll bus is in front. A Rocknroll bus wins it. Then it's going to be Kissin' Joe, Hold My Wine, and Oakwood Carl in 155 and 1. In the winner's circle, two, a Rocknroll bus. 9-year-old bay mare by a Rocknroll Dance, owned, trained, driven, a victory by Vince Copeland. 155 and 1.